Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Anambra. This beautiful Friday morning is a TGI edition of the show, and we are kickstarting with the press review this morning. And yes, you can see my colleague is with me this morning, Ajulu Chukwu. Ajulu, it's been a while. Where have you been?
Well, I've been touring Nigeria to actually see if Nigerians are coming to terms with the reality of what's happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. Off the camera, we'll talk about your research and what your findings were. You're welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
All right, my name is Chidimma Oranwa. Just to let you know that we have our reviewers with us in the studio this morning, but you get to meet them after this short break, so stay with us. All right, you're welcome back to the show. And with us this morning as our reviewers are Arinze Anyebunam. Arinze is a public affairs analyst. Arinze, how are you doing?
Excellent. Thanks for having me. I was going to make a comment on what Adole said, but let me just comment my reserve.
Please comment your reserve, not reserve your comments again. All right, we also have Favor Robinson. Favor is also a public affairs analyst. Favor, how are you doing?
Very fine, a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, and this morning we are starting with the stories that are trending on our website. That is ABS website. The first story there, Anambra State Library Board celebrates 2023 Asusu Igbo Digide ceremony. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo VP calls for revival of Igbo apprenticeship scheme. Anambra State Women Affairs Commissioner stops father burying son in the forest. Wow. Okay, these are what we have trending on our website this morning. Let's start with you, Arinze.
Okay, as a matter of fact, the headlines on the ABS platform is quite catchy. First off, I want to laud the Commissioner for
Women Affairs,
Lady
Ifeanyi
Binabo. She's been doing excellently well. That woman deserves an award, and all kudos to her. Igbo Ohaneze Ndi because Igbo apprenticeship scheme. This is very important. As a matter of fact, that the government is doing this part in respect to 1 2 skills and all of that. But in the true essence of Igbo apprenticeship scheme, I don't want to go in details, but even the bosses should actually get to begin to do it right as it used to be. Most times now we hear reports of people serving this apprenticeship thing, and then finally they don't get to have their bosses settle them, and that's quite bad. And as we see Igbo Digide, essentially we need to preserve, I don't know if I should say our culture.
Of course, our culture and our language.
That's really what need to.
Yes. So Favor, let's look at that particular one, talking about preserving the culture and language of Igbo people. You know, most Igbo people, most time we are, do I use the word ashamed to speak our languages?
Absolutely. It's a good one anyway. What makes you who you are, where you're coming from, is actually your dialect. A lot of people are ashamed of it. I think it's a bad one. But I say it's because of the English we now speak.
Now we don't speak well.
We don't know how to speak it most times.
So I know most times when you go to diaspora or you travel abroad, what makes you to know people or get involved with your brothers is just because of dialect.
Definitely.
So I would want, even in Anambra here, I would want our parents to inculcate it in their children. You understand? I was in church the other day, and the father was saying, some of the kids, he was speaking to them, and they are not even hearing Igbo in Anambra. You understand? Which we have 98% of Igbos living here. So it's a problem. So I would urge our parents to inculcate that in our kids.
While you're even urging parents, I think we equally need to commend the state government for making a particular day of the week, you understand?
Okay.
Speaking Igbo.
That's Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays, you understand? So when you commend the state government on that, on the initiative of the importance of a child learning the mother tongue, it will further enshrine our culture, not eroding before our eyes. And then when you go to schools, and this is a funny thing, because I think I tend to ask most of these private schools, you understand, you see in their billboards and the rest of it, or even the prospectus they issue to parents for enrollment of their kids, you understand, of kids into their school. They keep telling you British curriculum, American curriculum, but nobody is emphasizing on even the languages that is being spoken in Nigeria. Nobody talks about that, and you're beginning to copy so much. There was even one I saw, Spanish curriculum. And I begin to wonder, what are we doing with this? You understand? And they probably may tell you that the world is turning into a global village. Let us sell what we have.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Let us equally sell what we have. Nigerians, you understand? Or rather, Easterners from this part of the world are the greatest number of people you have outside Nigeria.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't come out totally to, say that what or fault what the schools are doing, because most schools, I remember those days I interviewed one of the teachers. The teachers told me that, yes, they are teaching all these languages in school, but Igbo, the mother tongue, they are expecting the parents to teach the kids. Because just like you said, Spanish or British English, some people, they can't learn it while they are home. Their parents don't even know how to speak it. So why they are learning this one in school? When you come back at home, you parents, you teach them your language. Teach them Igbo language.
We used to have Igbo language as a subject.
No, up till now, we still have it in school. But the problem is that even in university, I'm not sure there are people that are still studying. Because something happened when I served. A young lady came and she was asked a question in the camp those days. What did you study in school? The lady said, Yoruba. The man said, I'm not asking you your tribe. I said, what did you study in school? She said, I studied Yoruba language. The man just looked at the girl. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Looked at the girl. So you went to school and all you could do was just to study Yoruba language. And the girl felt so bad. So I think it should start with, our parents and then people around us.
Yeah.
Let's be proud of our culture, our language, and every other thing.
A lot of people who have grown up, they say they cannot learn it any longer.
It's not possible.
There are so many apps that you could use to learn it, just like you travel.
But you will travel outside and learn the language of the
language.
It's
You
just
tell me you want to learn
about you.
If you're sociable and willing to,
yes. All right, that's it. Let's quickly go to the papers that we have this morning. So the first paper we are going to be reviewing.
The Daily Sun.
Yeah.
And the banner headline there is telling us, tears as Labour pickets Abuja Owerri Airport. And the rider there is saying, our workers stranded, airlines cancel flights. CSO demands Ajero suspension, investigation by DSS. And we also have there on the banner, on the front page of the Daily Sun, Kalu floors PDP's Ohabunwa at appeal court. FG to subsidize electricity tariff with 900 billion naira by December. Well, that would be a good respite to Nigerians. Tension in Plateau. Youths plan grand protest as appeal court delivers judgments today. The writer there says, police allege attempt to raise court building in Jos. You can find that story on page 7 of the Daily Sun. And then we have FG Obi clash over 2023 supplementary budget. And the writer there says, Tinubu government on caring, insensitive claims, well, I've been abandoned, dying in hospital, Frank Kokori says. And then Imo Cuba, court rejects LP's Labour Party factions motions seeking to replace candidates. That's the much we have on the Daily Sun this lovely Friday morning. And quickly, let us just see what the banner headline there is talking about before we go to this issue of the federal government and Obi clash over the 2023 supplementary budget. Tears as Labour pickets Abuja Owerri Airport. What's your take on that, Arinze? And with this issue of CSO demanding Ajero suspension after, will I say, the manhandling he suffered in Imo State not too long ago.
If I'm going to be very factual, whenever I read anything about Labour Party, I take it with a pinch of salt. Of Labour, rather. You see, as much as a number of times, the interest, the motives may seem right, but at the long run, compromise with certain. It's quite bad, it's quite pathetic, because the truth is when these things happen, it's the people that suffer it. People get stranded, people that are traveling for whatever reasons, people that may have appointments and all of that, businesses get stranded and people get to suffer. Yes. But then, if the federal government sits up and become very humane, most of these agitations will not come through. I tell you, they won't come true.
But when you're talking about Labour Party having that...
Not Labour Party.
I mean, sorry, the
Labour, NLC.
NLC, the Congress, you understand?
Labour Congress.
I think they should have a human empathy, human face, bearing the fact that no matter how much you want to stampede the government into doing what you want, you should also think about the people that are suffering. So there should be a balance.
And you are fighting for
you understand? There should be a balance. You understand? But then the question I keep asking is, when they go and meet government for this resolution to like alleviate the plight of the masses, do they actually tell the masses the true nature of what that discussion was behind closed doors? Because sometimes you begin to wonder. Now, in a sane crime, who would touch the number one agitator of the welfare of masses to that extent of such brutality?
I actually saw and actually read it. They said it's alleged. You understand? I was reading and it said it's alleged. But the Imo State governor, you understand, and the police, they've not put in much effort into this from what I'm seeing. You understand? They've not taken it so seriously. You understand? So the brutality, I think if it was actually something that happened, it's not a good one. But it's really going to...
I don't understand what you mean if it actually happened. Didn't you
He
see
said
the picture?
alleged,
Yeah,
that's
alleged.
a journalistic term.
Yeah.
When you say alleged.
Alleged.
He read somewhere that it was alleged, but we saw pictures of Ajero when he was filled with bruises all over his face and all that. So are they now saying that probably he inflicted those injuries on
makeup.
himself, you know,
That
or
was
or makeup,
Or
yeah?
makeup.
But it's really going to turn down the the GDP of Imo State actually. You know, the Imo State, looking at Imo State, what's its oil and all those what they have. So it's a problem on Imo State. So I would want to say the federal government should come into this matter immediately.
What's the work of the
You
federal
understand?
government?
Because
The compromise is too much in the system.
because they've stopped flights from different states coming into Imo State as I'm talking to you right now. So it's
Okay, you talked about the supplementary budget.
FG and Obi clash over the 2023 supplementary budget, saying that Tinubu's government cares less about the earnings of Nigerians.
Truth be told, at the moment, Obi is one outspoken voice that we have in respect to, supposedly for me, truthfully being agitative. I don't want to say fighting, or maybe fighting for the poor masses. You get?
Actually, this is just the crux of it all is based on the supplementary budget that the Senate are wanting to pass. There are certain things that were not necessary to be captured in that supplementary budget that were there. You understand? And that is why Obi came up to say, why? Nigeria is hungry. Things that pertain to the welfare, you understand, to the upliftment of social services of the masses is not even captured in there. And to think of it that this money to actually actualize the supplementary budget will be borrowed. And if you don't borrow to put food on the table or to empower Nigerians, but rather you're putting in your yacht and the rest of it, cars and all the houses and furnishing of houses, where lies the fate of Nigeria?
That's basically what I was saying. Obi, at the moment, is one voice that speaks against those things. Truth is, a few weeks ago, when the federal government bought vehicles for the legislators and all of that, a legislator said something that became very shocking to me. And I was telling somebody, if the legislative arm does not sit up, the executive will not do the right thing.
Because they're meant to be checks and balances.
They are the seat of power that checkmates what the executive do. And that's why the executives are also very careful.
Yeah.
They like to lobby with the legislative and ensure that
to the detriment of the masses.
It's
The
pathetic.
truth is that once they get their yes, they are good to
They are
go.
good to
Anything
go.
they bring to the table, they just pass it as a bill or pass it into law. We are talking about the 2.17 trillion, trillion naira that was passed as a supplementary budget. We don't even want to go into details because so many things are there that are captured. We are talking about yacht, we are talking about buying cars for the office of the First Lady, and then replacing cars
and furniture
at the State House and furniture and all that. I mean, we are talking about 20 supplementary budget, but very soon we'll go into the year 2024. What about the 2024 budget? Why won't we leave all these things and leave it to be captured like in the 2024 budget? Why talking about the supplementary budget? But then, let's go ahead because the next paper we are going to review this morning is a Daily Independent. And the big story there, Kogi Bayelsa Imo Gubapus, another litmus test for INEC. That's the big story in the front page of the Daily Independent. And we have writers there saying, stakeholders see voter apathy, doubt INEC assurances. We won't allow anybody manipulate electoral process, PDP. Police declare 5 Bayelsa cancer areas violence prone. Military warns troublemakers of injurious consequences. Federal government declares state of emergency on humanitarian crisis in Benue. Imo Guba, court reject bid by a Papa fraction of the Labour Party to replace Atan Achono. Russia-Ukraine crisis takes toll on Nigeria's crude. NMPC says it affects inflow into international markets. ABGA leadership tussle, judge threatens to jail INEC chairman Oye over contempt. Revenue agencies remit 14.38 trillion naira to Federation account in 2 years. Shake-up in police as IGP redeploys 14 AIGs, 26 CPs. Airlines, passengers grown as labor grants operation tow out of Imo Airport. Carriers reroute passengers to Port Harcourt and Enugu airports. UBA, Saudi Exim Bank signs MOU to enhance business relations and export growth. Okay, these are what we have on the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. We're still talking about the off-cycle election. I mean, that's a big story in the front page of Daily Independent. Kogi Bayelsa and Imo poll, another litmus test for INEC, of course. Now we have a lot of writers there saying stakeholders see a voter apathy and then doubt INEC assurances. So what's your take on that, Robinson? You know what happened at the general election and all that.
Actually, the chairman of INEC, he has promised a very good election in these states you've actually called. So they have been. He said they are good. There is going to be a very good security approach towards this. You understand, and everything is going to go out smoothly. So we are actually working on what he has told us. You understand, because. Based on what has happened before, we would want this one to be a smooth one, So he has promised us of good security, operatives to come to these various states. So we hope to see a good one from them.
But it's not about the security operatives. Truth is, and most times when issues like this come up, I want to be personal. I want to individualize it. As a being, as a Nigerian, I've lost trust, faith, and hope in INEC. As a matter of fact, logically, when you talk about party faithfuls and all of that, I begin to wonder, how would you want to convince me in Kogi, in Imo State? What's the possibility? Bayelsa, yes, but I want to measure on this to say there will be a free and fair election, considering certain factors that are personal to me that I don't want to mention on air. If INEC can sincerely, if INEC truthfully execute this election and it's fair, I'll give them kudos.
So do you also sense apathy, according to what we have here as writers? Because some stakeholders are saying that we have a lot of voter apathy.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, talking about Ajayura and all of that, why is the federal government not yet involved in it? As a matter of fact, if I should backtrack a little bit, take a look at Rivers State government. With all of the scenes that played out there, I expected the federal government to throw weight on it. Sincerely. But there was no weight of the federal government for certain reasons that I think is true. So apathy is certain. Apathy is certain.
While you're talking about apathy, let me just speak for the the basis of the fact that the incumbent governor is a Supreme Court governor in Imo State. That could equally, you understand, will I say, increase the so-called apathy, because somebody will say, after all, last election, we voted, and then somebody that came forth emerged, you understand, number one. So that alone is enough. And then INEC, on their own part, they've not even done enough, you understand? They've not done enough to, will I say, weighing down on the apathy of Imolites, to tell them that, come, what happened then probably was just the Supreme Court judgment. But this time around, everything is not going to be go that line, that we are going to be on top of it, because I expect a whole lot of things to be happening there. There are billboards of other political parties scarcely appear in Imo, in major cities around Imo State, because they believe that it's a one-party state. And these are the areas where you begin to expect the government to come in and say, this shouldn't be. We had an election in Anambra State, and we had all comers where people come and then say, this is who. Even in this establishment, different political parties were playing their jingle. So I think the federal government should come up and say, enough is enough. This is one country we're talking about here, and this is a state. So, like you rightly said, that the government is playing lip service, you understand, with these issues like this. And that goes a long way in increasing the apathy, because people will feel that their vote won't count based on what is happening here.
And there's no need voting.
There's no need
I've heard
voting.
people say it, no need
you understand?
voting
So these are the areas where I feel the INEC, what is it called, the NOA, National Orientation Agency, and so many other bodies that has to do with election should come up and make these people understand that what they are doing, the toll they are taking, is absolutely wrong if we want to safeguard the future of this country, election-wise.
Well, I will say that once again, let's give them benefit of the doubt. They've promised us, Mahmoud have come out to promise us that they are in full preparation of everything, that beavers, everything is going to work. Well, apart from the fact of what is happening, or what happened actually, what happened with the labor and all that, let's believe that people will still come out with the help of NOA and people around coming out to see if, again, we can trust INEC when they promise us that they are going to give us free, fair, and credible election. Let's see what will play out in Imo State. You know, let's just keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so let's move to the next paper.
The next paper we have for review this lovely morning is The Nation newspaper. And then the banner headline, Uzodimma Kayemo, CSOs, labor protests. Partisan, and the writer there say, Osifo, we won't stop. Passengers stranded at Abuja, Lagos airports. And that's that. And then we still have Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi 2023. All set for elections. Military warns miscreants to stay off. DSS cautions against inflammatory statements. And hotel scarcity leaves INEC officials, security agents stranded. Yoruba in diaspora to Tinubu eradicate poverty. And then we have, with Saudi Arabia boosting advanced technologies in oil and gas exploration and production, Nigeria stands to gain significantly from this knowledge transfer. That's the president there in Saudi Arabia. Nigeria, Saudi oil sign MOU on oil gas investment. We have Senate seeks sack of MDA bosses, ignoring summons and motions. Nigeria's oil supply to Europe hits 730 barrels per day. And then Umahi explains 21 billion naira vote for third mainland repairs. And Wike remains my principal governor, Fubara declares. That's and all you find on the Nation newspaper. And quickly, Robinson.
Based on the oil, you said 730 billion.
Yeah, 730 billion
barrels
per
we
day.
exported.
Yeah, per day.
Imagine. And we are still complaining that our naira does not have value in this country. It's a problem. We should, it's an advice, I think the government should find a way to invest in our refineries. You know, oil is the blood of the economy. If we have issues with our oil sector in this country, the naira is still going to be devalued. You understand? We are still buying oil. We are still importing. Our export is not greater than our export is not greater than imports. So it's a problem. So our advice: we have money in this country. There's money in this country. We should invest in our refinery so that we'll stop importing petroleum products into this country so that we can help our economy to thrive.
Until we have a government that has the political will to actualize
We're
it.
still talking about that. You see the MOU signed by Nigeria and Saudi Arabia still on oil and gas investment. So we keep on exporting. We export the crude oil, like the raw material, and they give us the refined one. Where we have refineries that are not working. All we need to do is to, make them work again. We are still waiting for Dangote refinery that was actually launched some time ago to, produce. I heard the other time somebody was telling me that he saw in report, or rather, where they put out vacancy. That they want to employ some people in that Dangote refinery, and so I keep asking, who are they? But what are they? What do they want to do? We've been waiting for them to start production or start whatever it is that they want to do there. But up till now, we are still talking about them. And the other day on the papers, we saw where the government are threatening to revoke the licenses of some modular refineries that are not working, that are moribund now. Now the question is, why revoking the licenses of these refineries? Why don't you help them and see how we can, make it work again, so
and
that
probably even reduce the load.
Yes.
For Dangote.
So
When you speak of refinery, to tell you the truth, even the Dangote refinery does not suffice what the government should do. Dangote is not government. Dangote is an individual. So we cannot base our trust, our expectation on what Dangote can do. Dangote is not government. If Dangote as an individual,
but to some extent, he had the backing of the government to do what he did, because
why is government giving backing? Why can't government sit up and do something?
When we have 4 refineries that we need to put back in shape. Okay, let's see what we're talking about here as it concerns the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos. Umai explains 21 billion vote for 10 mainland repairs. 21 billion to repair Third Mainland Bridge. For Christ's sake, how much does it cost to build one?
some time ago, I read a report that, should I call him a one-time senator now? Umai spoke, was it about Anambra contractors or something? That they are being shoddy, they are not being effective. As much as I want to give it to Umai when it comes to infrastructure, by virtue of what I've seen him do in Ebonyi State, I've been to Ebonyi State a number of times and I give it to him. The fact is, because of what I've come to believe in respect to the blessedness of party loyalties, it now hurts. Umai may do very well in that maintenance and repairs, but the benefits, the money they are now, what are you explaining? What is 21 billion?
For repairs.
That's what I'm saying.
In maintenance, now this is not even doing it.
21 billion.
21
what are you
billion to
maintaining?
repair.
Is the bridge sinking?
Third Mainland Bridge is not even up to 50 kilometers, and I'm sure that the parts that you need to repair won't even be half of that. So, sometimes I don't understand
the way they quote figures.
The quotation of figures. 21 billion, I don't know, maybe Naira rate and the rest of it, or you begin to wonder. 21 billion will do a lot. It can give you a good stretch of road. You understand? Well, I really don't understand.
Still on this Bayelsa Imo Kogi 2023, there's something I'm seeing here, that hotel scarcity leaves INEC officials and security agents stranded in Imo State. We are talking about state election, okay? And then I remember there was a time when a group of women came out on the social media to cry out that they came to Owerri, that they actually booked a hotel for them to have their reunion, and they came to Owerri, they're telling them that there is no vacancy again. I mean, the hotel management couldn't reach out to the women, telling them that the government put out notice that all the hotels in Imo State, that they are going to book all the rooms there, irrespective of even if you have people that have paid for the rooms, that are going to book the room. Now, the question is, who are those rooms made for? Like, who did the government book the rooms for? If the if the INEC officials and security agents that came into the state can't even get a room.
No.
Because when they were booking, I was thinking they were doing it for the INEC officials and the security officers, but now they are stranded.
This is a very strong political strategy. As a matter of fact, I did not want to mention it earlier. Because, when we are on air like this, we'll try being very careful. It's a strong political strategy to disarm other party. As a matter of fact, if you don't have an accommodation,
You're disarming the apparatus that will even conduct the election.
they will give those apparatus rooms. They will give them rooms, the security, the INEC and all of that. The logic to it is the fact that they have easier access to those men. Except for maybe the politicians that possibly own a hotel. Because if it is yours, it is yours. Or loyalties to other political parties. Aside that, you come into the town from outside. Maybe by the time you may have driven in, whatever they want to play may have played out. It's a political strategy, and it shows how, sorry to say, how demeaning our political ideology is.
The thing is, in our country now, you can see that the political system in Nigeria is changing. There are a lot of smart works that are coming in. A lot of smart works that are coming in.
I don't think this one can be counted as smart works.
Exactly.
In my own estimation, you can't count this as smart works. You understand? An election is meant to, we are talking about democracy here. Level playing field.
To them.
Level playing field for all. You understand? I have who I want to vote for. You don't need to come and circumvent my own idea or my thoughts on who I want to vote for. That is what is being done here. Strangulating people's opinion.
Yesterday, I don't know where they conducted that poll, whether it's social media poll, where they were saying that Uzodinma himself, that he's in favor because from what they conducted, he's going to win by 68%, leaving 32% for all the rest of that's other parties. Now APC is just 68%. And then when we are talking about apathy, if I'm an Imolite now and I see this kind of thing, why will I come out tomorrow? To come and prove myself? Because you people, you've done the election online. Probably you've written the results at the end of this. So this particular news, this kind of information shouldn't be, seen on the papers or even social media before the conduct of the election.
Nigeria needs deliverance.
No, Nigerians.
What we see now is just power of incumbency.
All right, let's see what we have on Nigerian Tribune. That's the next paper under review this morning. We're still talking about the Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa election. Military police warn troublemakers. Okay, and then DSS cautions against inflammatory statement. ICPC deploys operatives threatening clampdown on electoral corruption. Deliver flawless election in Imo, Southeast traditional rulers, religious leaders, tax INEC. Alafians too, again, Oyomesi in court files a fresh suit against Makinde and others. UBA, Saudi Exim Bank partner to enhance business relations, export growth. IGP redeploys 14 AIGs, 26 CPs. Russia-Ukraine war affecting Nigeria's crude oil inflows. This is coming from NMPCL. Anyoko Adebanjo Idika Kalo orders reject review of 1999 constitution, want Tinubu to restructure country. Passengers stranded as protesting union blocks airport entrances. Nigeria has highest cement price in the world. Producers tax federal government on inclusion of new players to end monopoly and increase supply. MTEF Sean Senate invitation, lose your job. Babio tells Tinubu's appointees, hold ministers, MDAs responsible for delay in passage of 2024 budget. Reps tell Nigerians. Okay, they just passed the supplementary budget and there is delay in passing of 2024 budget for the country. All right, so these are what we have on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Now let's start with this statement or rejection by Anyoko Adebanjo Idika and also Kalo. They are rejecting the review of 1999 Constitution. They said that it's not going to work for this country, that what we actually need is a restructuring of the country. Do you believe that that is actually what we need, that reviewing of the Constitution will not do anything for us as a nation?
Reviewing the Constitution is part of the restructuring. But the truth is, on the potency of the review. After the review, what is the strength of the findings? What are the modalities to be put up? What are the steps, the systems to put in place to ensure that whatever research that was, whatever results that we have found in respect to the review, that there is a restructuring, a rearrangement to better favor the people. You get the fact is, most of the abnormalities that happen in the system is on the wings of this constitution. Do we need to go making references? In respect to the election, the result of the Abuja and all of that, you see lawyers argue from different angles to what the constitution said. Review is essential as much as I'm concerned. Very, very essential.
Maybe why these people are saying that they are coming out for outright rejection of the review could be that they have seen what these people want to do. They just want to touch some things a little bit, but they are crying because we need a lot of things to be incorporated in the constitution. That is why they are clamoring for restructuring, like proper restructuring. You get the point.
What's the step of the restructuring?
I'm thinking the issue of this country is implementation.
Thank you.
Even the previous one, what have we done? If they are even using these two terms to deceive us, restructuring review, what have we done? Implement the ones we've done before, at least to an extent, we've not seen any of them working.
You mean the confab?
Yeah, based on what is happening, the review and the what you're talking about. So I think we should implement. The country, we need implementation first. Let the masses, let the poor masses start having, let them start feeling the government. You understand? So there should be more of implementation than using all these words to confuse us.
When he said that Tinubu should restructure Nigeria, as much as I think I know, let me use that word, it's not up to the president as a person to restructure the country.
It's not. The power to do that doesn't lie solely on the presidency.
But he can give a command, he can give an order, and the process will start.
The men clamoring now, when they were in power, what did they do?
When you command the kind of enormous power the Nigerian president commands, you wouldn't want that power to be taken off him by restructuring.
Well, he promised us renewed hope, change, a better Nigerian. So, I mean, the people calling for him to restructure, they are still in the right direction because you promised us a better Nigeria, a change, renewed hope. That's what we are not change again, is renewed hope. So that's what you promised us. So if they are asking for restructuring or review, as we might put it, they are not wrong. But the thing is, just like you said, because we are all self-centered and selfish, we wouldn't want anything that would take off a lot of things from us, benefits, whatever we are benefiting. But then again, if you as a leader, that you don't have that humane hands and you are not seeing the plight of the common man on the street, then again, why are you there as a leader? Okay. Why are you there as a leader? So I believe that, let's keep hope alive, renewed hope. That's what we are talking about.
I want to actually speak on, military, want troublemakers in respect to this coming election. Okay. We've read it in different headlines. The truth is, as much as it's essential that everybody should get to contain themselves, yes, but the military and the police, the security arm should not allow themselves become a tool to induce change, become a tool to cage people, become a tool to get people to do what the political class wants them to do. But that's another thing. We get to hear them talk like that. You think they are doing it outwardly because of doing the right thing. It's just a way of buying time and buying platform for themselves. The security arm should also be sincere in discharging their duties.
Well, thank you. Quickly, let's go to the next paper we have for review, which is The Guardian. And the banner headline there says, just like Chidema said, renewed hope agenda, political class at profligate, best as citizens languish, importers to pay more as customs reverse to $783 million amid 70% decline. UBA Saudi Exim Bank partner on business relations, export growth. Decision day in Bayelsa and Kogi Imo affirms readiness. DOC uncovers plot to cause mayhem. Election litigation over. Real governance should commence. All of this you can find on this day newspaper. And then you have reps summons FIRS, others move to check powers of CBN governors. Passengers stranded, we've seen that one. And then you have Nayeti reveals Federation account received 4 trillion. Am I seeing that correctly?
I mean,
4 trillion.
14.4 trillion naira in 2 years.
And that's all that we
Okay,
have for
let's
you.
also see what we have on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. 24 hours to post. Igala elders call for postponement. Women protest in Bayelsa. Okay, so we think it's only in Imo we are having problem. Now we have riders, travelers miss flight as labor grounds Imo-bound planes. IGP storms Kogi. Military raises alarm on fake soldiers. Labor action inconsiderate, not treasonable. Yadudu protests won't hamper Saturday's election. INEC. Explosion. Canada says visa centers in Abuja, Lagos remain open. 59 mosques destroyed in Israeli airstrike on Gaza. 14.3 trillion naira remitted to Federation account in 2 years. DSS reads riot act to troublemakers. Students threaten strike over tuition hike in Ogun. CJTF commanders, 4 others killed in Borno, mine blast. Federal government flags off resettlement homes for Benue IDPs. Okay, AJ, over to you.
That's the...
Okay, 24 hours to post. Igala elders call for postponement, and also women are protesting in Bayelsa State. Of course, just like I mentioned earlier, we thought that we have issues just in Imo State. Now, Bayelsa is bringing up in the front page of Daily Trust. Now, what will make women to actually come out, or elders to actually come out and seek for postponement of, election in Bayelsa State?
I think they might have seen something fishy. You understand? They might have seen through to see that the election might not all go well the way they want it. So they just need to cry to allow their voices to be heard. You understand? So like in Nigeria, the only way you make your voices to be heard is just to
protest.
Mostly, they give a little bit preference to women. So if the women can come out to shout, I think governments can, try to know what to do.
And I also have issue where IGP in Kogi is raising alarm that there are a lot of fake soldiers there in Kogi State. I mean, from different quarters, we are having different kind of challenges concerning this election that is coming up now. Fake soldiers. I think that we leave that for the military to know what is going on. They know the number of people they are assigned to different states, so they should fish out and see if there are really fake soldiers and know people that are there to foment trouble.
One of the factors that I think alarms or gives this fake police, fake soldier, fake anything, the platform to stand is the fact that most times on the road, you see security men without their names, so that issue of taking names, taking off their tags and all of that. When you see the fake ones, you will no longer know, because they also appear without names, without tags, without any form of identity. So the military, even by stretch or extension, the police too should actually look into that. Because that's the way we get to know them. You know the person's name, possibly know his or her registration number. With that they can, but you hardly see them now. Maybe that's one of the reasons the fake operatives thrive.
Well, that's it on our review this morning. And because of want of time, we have another segment. We want to say a very big thank you to both of you for joining us on Press Review this morning. Thank you so much, Arinze Anyi, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And also Favor Robinson, thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's it on the Press Review this morning. We are not going anywhere yet because we still have something for you this morning. We'll see you at the other side. Stay with us.